Hey guys, tonight's movie review is for The Glass Castle, starring Brie Larson, Naomi Watts, and Woody Harrelson. A little bit about this movie. Brie Larson plays Jeanette, and she's kind of this sophisticated New Yorker. She is a freelance writer for The New Yorker. She has this sophisticated financial boyfriend, um, which is kind of a stark comparison to her parents, played by Woody Harrelson and Naomi Watts. They are these kind of traveling nomads. Near the very beginning of the movie, she sees them. She's riding in a taxi cab and she sees them like pulling stuff out of the garbage, basically. And that's kind of a stark comparison between who she is and who they are. And Woody Harrelson is this very, very smart guy, very intelligent, but can't really hold down a job, is very disestablishment, and is also a drinker. And Naomi Watts is this kind of artist, and she's talented, but she's very flighty, and she never really does anything with her art. That kind of sets up who these people are, but the movie basically goes back and forth between when Jeanette is a child and Jeanette now as an adult. And you see pieces of kind of how she was raised. She has three other siblings, how all of them were raised. They never went to school. There were many, many times that they went very hungry. They were always moving from place to place to place because Woody Harrelson couldn't keep a job because of his drinking. And also, because of his kind of disestablishment notions. But he always had this grandiose idea that they were going to make this glass castle. They were going to find this perfect spot of land and they were going to build this huge house with all of these windows and everything was made of glass and it was going to be beautiful. And you kind of see when she's younger, it focuses on the bond between Jeanette and her father throughout the movie and all these times where they connect in childhood and also how that translates to their relationship as adults. And she's really the one that believes in him. She really believes that he's going to get it together, that he's going to step up as a parent and really guide this family. And because of different events that happen through the years, her opinion changes, and the other people in her family have different opinions of him. Sometimes he does great things and he says, hey, for your gift, pick out a star, and takes a moment to speak with each child and let them pick out a star. And other times he takes all their money and uses it on booze. So this movie, I guess, kind of centers around her as an adult and the kind of relationship that she has with her parents. And can you continue to have family like that in your life? Are they holding you back, or are they part of what makes you who you are? It's kind of what this movie is exploring while being very character driven and telling the story of someone's life. So without giving more away than that, that's basically what this movie is about. The story itself, I thought, was very interesting. It's really sad too, but it's very interesting. And I don't think necessarily something that I've seen before. Just the craziness of, especially because this is a true story. I didn't point that out, but this is a true story. And the craziness of just being uprooted all the time as a child, and the fact that her and her siblings were even able to become functioning adults. That's, excuse me, that's pretty crazy. And I think they have a lot of really detailed memories that she had that they bring to life in this movie. As far as acting, I think both Naomi Watts and Woody Harrelson were very, very strong. Especially Woody Harrelson, I would say he was my favorite. I just think that he did a really good job creating a full character. It wasn't flat. It wasn't someone that was, he could have just been a character that you hated, but he wasn't. You could still kind of understand, even though he was kooky, why he acted the way he did. And I think a lot of that was because of the little nuances that Woody Harrelson brought to the role. Hey, doggy. And overall, I think the weakest person actually was Brie Larson. I thought she did fine, but I thought that some of the reaction shots, excuse me again, that she would give to Woody Harrelson, especially, she would pull her face a lot or just give these exaggerated reactions. And I understand that crazy stuff is supposed to be happening, but some of her reactions I thought were so pulled and so overacted that it really brought me out of what was going on. And I was like, why is she doing that to her face? Like, stop it. I know you don't do that. You didn't do that in Room. You didn't do that in the United States of Tara. Like, I know it's not a you thing, but like, I don't like that choice that either you or the director is making right now. Um, Another thing I want to point out is there were two little actresses that played her through the years as she was growing up, and I thought both of them were very strong as well. Especially the one who played kind of, I guess you would call like preteen Jeanette. Um, she had some very intense scenes with Woody Harrelson, and I thought she carried herself very well. And I think mostly she's been an actress who's done stuff on like the Disney and Nickelodeon channel. But I hope that this is kind of a springboard for her to do more dramatic stuff and more stuff maybe out of that kind of child preteen genre, because she did very, very well. Um, the pacing of this movie at times I thought was kind of slow and meandering. It didn't bother me too much because I mean this movie is I call it a quiet film. Like, it is about relationships. It is about these characters. There's not necessarily a lot of stuff happening or driving the story forward, but I think sometimes that's okay when that it's a character driven film. So there were some points they probably could have cut out about 10, 20 minutes of this movie, but overall that didn't bother me too much. Overall, I would give this movie a B. I would recommend that you would see it. I think that it is a solid movie, and especially if you're kind of ready to see a more serious movie or ready to get into Oscar season, maybe you're kind of done with the popcorn summer big flicks. I think this would be a good thing. You just need a quiet afternoon, a quiet evening to go see something a little more serious. Then this is the movie for you. It's a B for tonight. Thanks so much.